Thank you, everyone. So we're continuing with talking about different transactions. A halacha is zachin le'adam shelo b'fanav. A person can acquire something for someone else if it's good for that person, even if that person is not around. So whatever the example is, you could acquire something if I know this person's gonna like it, he's gonna benefit from it, and it could be considered belonging to him at the moment that I lift it up in for his intention. And the classic case is that this is applied in a non-business way, but I think the most maybe common way is when it comes to acquiring something on Shabbat. We spoke about this in the Halachot of Shabbat. What I mean is as follows. Let's say you want to give a gift, or let's say we have the bar mitzvah books that we give to the bar mitzvah boy on Shabbat. So a transaction, even if there's no money being involved, is not allowed on Shabbat. It's part of business. Transfer of ownership. This book belonged to the shul, and now it belongs to this person. A transfer of ownership is not allowed on Shabbat. Or let's say you come to your friend's house on Shabbat, and you come with a bottle of wine. You came with a bottle of wine, that's your ownership, now it goes to him. That transfer of ownership is not good on Shabbat, not allowed. So how do we get around that, so to speak? So what's done is let's say the bar mitzvah situation. So let's talk about the gift. So the gift, what one should do ideally is before Shabbat. So now I own this bottle of wine. So before Shabbat, I give it to someone else, and they are. Let's say I want to give it to my friend Reuven. I'm going to his house for Shabbat. So I give it to someone else, a friend of mine. I say, hey, lift this up and have in mind that this now belongs to Reuven. I can't do that myself. If I own it myself, there has to be someone else acting on his behalf. But I know that this bottle of wine is something that he's going to want. So once I say, hey, do me a favor, lift this up and say this now belongs to Reuven, and then it works out. So too, for the bar mitzvah gifts. Okay, so I'll explain that in a moment. So that's what I do. Let's say with the bar mitzvah gifts, the owner of the gifts, the books is the shul. I use myself as an emissary, as a shaliach for the shul. I lift it up and I say, this now belongs to the bar mitzvah boy that I'm going to give it to on Shabbat. That's how it works out. So what about if you didn't do that? So when it comes to food items on Shabbat, it works out because what happens is, let's say Shabbat, and I want to go to my friend's house, I bring a bottle of wine, I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't do this ownership thing, transfer before Shabbat. So what you could do is, when you bring it to the person's house, really what you're saying is, this still belongs to me, but I allow everyone to drink it. Right? So here I bring it, and now everyone drinks it. You could have it in mind, but ideally is to say, well, if he's a friend of yours, then you say, look, I forgot to do the thing before Shabbat. You think you're crazy, right? Yeah. So you see, you bring it to the house, so you could have it in your own mind also, but it's better if you speak it out. So that's that. And let's say an example where it wouldn't work. I think I once had this case also where a friend of mine once told me he had people over for Pesach Seder that were not religious, and a person came with a bottle of whiskey. Whiskey's chametz on Pesach, right? So now they came to the house like, whoa. Now let's say that before Chag, he had in mind to the store, I'm buying this for the rabbi, I'm going to his house, right? That's not a zechut for the rabbi. He doesn't want it. So it won't work. That transfer of ownership doesn't work if he doesn't want it, right? So then what's that? So now what happens is let's say he brings it to the house. Also, your house is koneh. When it comes in and he gives it to you, and your house owns it, so to speak. So you do, you just don't put it down and then have in mind, I'm not owning it. But when you have a negative thought in mind, I'm not owning it, then it doesn't be your ownership. And you put it on the side somewhere, cover it up. You could touch it. Touching is not a problem, touching chametz. But what? Whatever bottle it is, yeah. But that's the concept of giving ownership to someone, even if he's not around, if it's beneficial for him using another person to act on his behalf. Okay, that's that for today. Mincha tonight at 5:20. Gemara shiur tonight, full daf. We're going to start at 9 o'clock though. 9 o'clock, B'ezrat Hashem tonight. Have a good day, everyone.